talk. I have been trying to do this episode for the longest, but the topic today is dealing with judgmental people and also finding self-confidence. And the reason that I'm doing both of these topics together because they go hand in hand, and I make sure that if I do one, I'm gonna automatically slip into the other one, and we don't want a whole video talking about the same thing. So I hope the audio is pretty good. I'm just gonna do some free battle while I talk for the people that actually view the video or just want to go to sleep or see something. Because I know I watch if somebody did something like that. But yeah, that's basically how it's gonna go. And gonna get about a handicap. But that's basically how it's gonna go. And not that much of a handicap. But that's basically how it's gonna go, and I planned on hitting a lot of topics that I know are very important. So today the topic was basically I feel like I needed to get this off my chest and get this topic to the people that really needed this topic. And the reason why I say this is because this is a very important topic. And one topic that I do said that like 5-6 times, but the one reason why I want to talk about this one is because of the fact that I know for sure that people go through this. And I know that I can help somebody with this. So one reason that I know how I found my self-confidence, and I was going to do this in-person view with my face and everything, but we'll get to that later. We'll do that better. But one reason why I find some self-confidence was just going through things. I mean, I used to have it bad. Like, I was one of those people that you'd come up to me, somebody could like me, I'd be like, nah. Like, if somebody would have liked me, I'd be like, no, that's last resort. Nobody could like me. Had confidence issues because of the people around me. They weren't boosting me up. They weren't trying to help me. They were down on me. Had friends that weren't really my friends. They would just use me for emotional support. And not only that, people would, what's the word? Should I put this? Step on you. They would step on you so they can get on top. And what I mean by that is, like, I've had a friend that I no longer was friends with. I mean, I'll see them and probably stop by and say hello. But I've actually had a friend that I used to really consider a cool friend who used to be cool with me. And used to always be close and things like that. And it never worked out because every time girls would get around or somebody would say something about him, he would bring up me, like my topic. Like, literally, like, you could be like, look at Eric, he just fell down, and he'd be like, what are you laughing at because of this, that, and that's not a friend, guys. I mean, that's the person that you really don't want to be around. And to be honest, it's very unhealthy for the mind and for the emotions that you have, especially as a teenager. It's not very good. And the reason why I say that dealing with judgmental people and self-confidence go hand in hand is because a lot of reason why people have self-confidence is because they're either judging themselves or they're being judged by others. For me, it was being judged by others, and I will always be one of those nice guys that wants to please everybody until I realized that you can't please everybody. You're never going to be able to please everybody. Like, you could save the world today and somebody be like, well, my sister died last year, so why you couldn't save her life too? Like, you know, it's always going to be something that somebody's going to find negative to say about something that you did, something that you want to do, or something that you're going to do, regardless. Like, the other day, I've had somebody really like, okay, so I've had somebody tell me that I wanted to I was working, doing football, high school football, boxing, and school all at the same time. I pulled it off, and I said I can do it with the Lord's help, and you can too. You can do anything through Christ who strengthens you. But it was just the fact that I had that idea, and they weren't there to support me. And these are supposed to be one of my roles, you know, one of the people that supposed to help you the most, you know, the parents. And I felt like I didn't want to hear them. From that moment on, that's really when the time started where I stopped listening to anything that people really said, because it was like, after I did that, it felt like, wow, like, you know, for a minute there, you really didn't believe in me, you know? And then not only that, it felt like for a similar time, that they really didn't believe I can do it. And when I did it, I actually managed it pretty good. Worked out when I had time, got in my extra work because sometimes I would have to miss practice to go to work, and I'll tell coach that I'm working out that on that Saturday or Sunday or whatever that weekend was that I was off. Tried my best to stay fit. I did, and everything worked out. And I always kept my head where it needed to be. I don't drink nor smoke. I don't get into those type of things. That's not me. But yeah, they really didn't believe in me, and it kind of hurt. But at the same time, I didn't pay no mind to it. And I don't like when people give me negative energy on something that I do because I know what they can lead to. But it was just the fact that they actually had come out about. Like I wanted to do boxing, and that same person told me, made me, well, influenced me that I don't think I should do boxing because of the fact that they did boxing. And I actually let them stop me. I didn't do boxing for like 2 months after I said I was going to do it. Because of the fact that I said that, you know what, you might be right. I believe that. And then I actually got into boxing. I loved it from the first day I was in there. I'll let him get that. But I loved it from the first day that I was in there. Wow, I got to go hard now. But I loved it from the first day that I was in there, and it was amazing. And honestly, I can see that is my calling. I love boxing. Every time I think about it, I want to do it. Every time. I'll be in class watching it sometimes and doing stuff like that. But that's besides the point. Anyway, the point was that through the midst of all of that, I let somebody else tell me what I think I should do with my life and my time. Why? Why would you let somebody do that? That's just like when somebody calls you ugly. Why do you believe that? Why do we believe the negative things about ourselves instead of the good about ourselves? We would rather believe the most negative things in life about people or ourselves before we believe the most best things about people. Like if somebody were to say something like, oh, my friend has $1 million. Or if I told you I had $1 million, or I had 1 million subscribers, you wouldn't believe me, right? Of course not. You'd be like, no, this is not a channel that looks like it has 1 million or something like that. But if I told you that I don't have any money and I'm pretty broke and I'm struggling, you would believe me. See that? See what I'm getting at here? Look how easy that was for you to believe that about me, and you don't even know me probably. You see what I mean? That was lucky. But you see what I mean? It's very toxic, and it's very easy to grab that type of energy in your life and put it there and keep it there. I've noticed that this is not the only time that people allow that to happen. I've noticed that I have actually seen, and with my own eyes, people say something to someone. They go back and tell that same person why they said it, and I actually believe it. I have a whole relationship now, and to be honest with you, some of the things that she heard from somebody, she believes. Like somebody told her this and that about herself or something that happened in her life and it was kind of tragic or whatever, and she actually believed that was the reason, or the reason for this that to happen, or for the reason for her to feel like that. And I was like, why would you let somebody take away your happiness and your joy like that? And when we got, and I'm glad I said happiness and joy, because when we're getting to the stuff like this, it comes with times where people will let little things bother them. They will let the littlest things bother them. Like, I mean, somebody could say something about them or look at them funny and it'll mess up their whole day. Why? Why would you let something like that mess up your whole day? I'm not telling you to not care about yourself or care how you walk out. Now, keep your hygiene up. Don't be dirty. Don't be stinking. Now, that ain't cool. That is nasty, and I'm not judging you how you live your life, but that is not clean and that is not good for your body. But what I am saying is, as a person, you should always love yourself and be self-important. So if nobody else loves you, God loves you. And then, even then, if God loves you, the only other person, even nobody else loves you, you should love yourself. Love yourself. You are great. You are amazing. You're an amazing person. And I think that you can conquer the world if you put your mind to it. I believe to this day that I will be a legendary boxer, that I will win 3 heavyweight champions, and I'm going to be one of the best. I'm going to win. I know I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be able to help people. I'm going to start my own center. I'm going to help Shreveport, where I live. Even though we're currently going on the maintenance because it is snoring really bad out here, I'm not liking this because I'm hungry and I'm tired of eating these meals at home. But at the same time, it's cool with me. But the thing I was trying to get into is Don't let other people's judgment get into your self-confidence, because self-confidence, it comes with not caring. And let's not get it twisted, like not caring about certain things that are important, like somebody passing in your family, or but caring about other people's opinion, like what people think about you, or how you feel and it's just, or do you look fat? Who cares? Do you love yourself? I used to think like that every day. And if it really bothers you that much, change it. Don't just sit there and wallow in it and make it worse. Change it. If it makes you unhappy, not other people. If it makes you unhappy, yourself, you, that person that you look in the mirror every day when you wash your face and brush your teeth. If it makes that person unhappy, that reflection, then you change it. Then you change it. Or you can come to peace with it. Whichever works for you. But then you change it. You don't change it because of the person that's yelling at you about it every day. You don't change it because of the person who talks about you because of it every day. Don't change it because somebody gave you a funny look of it because of it. You change it because you want to change it. And because you want to do better for yourself. Stop caring what other people think about you and stop caring what other people say about you. I've just heard something today that was the craziest thing I've ever heard somebody say about me in my life. I'm selfish. Somebody told me I was selfish. Think about that. And if you know me outside of the house, outside of my home, I'm one of the most unselfish people you can meet. In fact, I was so unselfish that people started to take advantage of me. And that's when I had to realize that that's not how it's going to be. It goes the same way for me in ninth grade. Like my ninth grade year, I couldn't dress. I admit it, I couldn't dress. I didn't have many clothes. I didn't have many shoes. I didn't have many color coordinated clothes. I didn't know what I was doing. Now, that doesn't mean that I came up and bossed up, came up on some money. But, what I did was, every Christmas or every holiday around there, instead of getting this and that, all that material stuff, I'm like, hey, Mom, could you give me some more clothes? Give me some jeans like this? That's all I want. So and so stacked up. Even got some hand-me-downs from my cousin, some good ones. Made them look good, cleaned them up real nice. And when I came back, I realized that people were like, when I started to love myself and look in the mirror and actually be proud and can smile at myself, that's when I realized that the whole time it wasn't people, it was me. It was me the whole time. It wasn't what people thought about me. It wasn't how they thought it about me. It wasn't what they thought. It wasn't how I perceived myself. It wasn't how people perceived me. It was me. I used to think I was ugly. That's all the truth. Dead serious. Used to think I was ugly. I used to think that I didn't look good because people around me and my friends would play and be like, you don't look good. I used to think I didn't look good because the girls, well, the so-called girls that everybody chases but aren't worth anything spiritually. I'm not saying they aren't worth anything that way, but, I used to think I wasn't that good. That didn't look that good because, just think I was real life ugly and that I wouldn't be able to find love. And I actually found love. And to be honest with you, through this journey, I realized, and then through my Christian journey, I realized that with me loving myself and thinking that I look good in the mirror all the time, and even when I was younger, I used to go home and be like, how am I ugly? I look in the mirror and be like, what? Me? I'm not. There's no way I can be ugly. It's me. Out of all the people that can be ugly, it's me. Like, I look good. And then, but I'll come to school and let somebody tell me something about myself that I knew wasn't true. And I actually believe it. And I should have never let that happen. Ever. And it sounds crazy, doesn't it? Because it is. I let what somebody else thought about me and somebody else's perspective affect how I feel about myself. And that should have never been the case. If anything, that should have motivated me more to care only what I think. But I let it affect me in ways that hurt me in the long term. But one day I came and looked in the mirror and told myself that I do look good. I told my mama that I wanted to change my look. And I was just going to change myself. It took me a good thought process. I got my ears pierced that day. Changed my haircut, got some waves in my head. I didn't need all of this, but this is just something I wanted to do for myself. I wasn't even planning on getting waves all the way around. But I just learned how to dress on my own. I stopped trying to get the style that everybody down here wants, and I tried to choose my own style. See, I'm a pretty different built guy. You know, I'm a big guy, but I'm not a big guy. You know, I'm a pretty solid figured guy, and I have my own style now. And people tell me all the time now, they're like, "Oh, you look good," or "Oh, you can dress," or "You can." It's like, and that's crazy. And because the same people who told me that I couldn't dress and would make fun of me all the time are the same people that tell me that I can dress and I look good all the time. And that's funny how that works, huh? People will literally be jealous of you. And that's a big thing too. Don't let the jealousy of others affect how you treat yourself. People can have a perspective of you without even having a conversation with you. They're serious. They don't even know if you have an attitude or not, but can call you mean, a nice person, all of that. Don't even know you, never had a conversation with you, never heard you talk before, but have a whole perspective of how you are and how your life is. Just like that. Just off a look. And that was at the moment when I realized that none of this really matters. Who cares about people's opinions? Who cares? Their opinions don't matter. And you do. You matter to yourself and to the people who really love you. So why let that go to waste? I mean, of course there are people's opinions that do matter, like your mother's opinion, you know, sometimes you look for it, but sometimes even her opinion doesn't matter. You know, to be honest with you, you might love your mother to death. I love my mother. I think I have a great mom. She can have that one. I think I have a great mom, personally. I love my mother. But at the end of the day, if my mom would have come in and called me a fat slob or something like that, I wouldn't believe nothing she said. I'd be like, "Mother, you're tripping. And mother, you don't know what you're saying right now. You don't know what you're talking about, mother." That would be my exact word. That'll be my exact word. Dead serious. And the reason why I say that is because who cares? People let other people's opinions, people let what other people think, their perspective, how they treat them, affect who they really are. It was at one point in time, my actual brothers are ladies. Well, I won't say ladies, man. Nobody says that anymore. But they talk to women a little different than I do. They get them and they dog them out, you know, do whatever. Hey, my dad was like that. I'm not like that. I always wanted to be the opposite. I always wanted to be a person. A lot of people around me smoked and drank. I never wanted to do that. I've been around people that have done drugs. I've never in my life ever wanted to do that. That is something that I never wanted to do. I had one shot one time on my birthday. It was force-fed to me by my dad and my uncle. Didn't like it. Hated it. Told myself, if anything, why would I get messed up over something like this? This is disgusting. And not only to mention, what is the point of it? That's another reason why people want to go to college is to party. I like to party. Don't get me twisted. I love to dance. Oh, I love to dance. Slow dance, line dance, all of that. I am all about that type of energy. But going to smoke and drink and do things that are not going to be good for my body or not going to help me in the long run or not really be able to enjoy, why would I go and do that? That's not something that I look forward to. It's not something that I find pleasure in. And even sex. People do that with sex too. They do the same thing. And that's something that I just looked at and it's something that I just looked at and I always told myself, why would I go and do that? What's the point of it? People do it the same way. And they use those things and they get addicted to it. Some people, now don't get me twisted, not all people, but some people use it to the point where it's things that they do and it's always there to help them. My PlayStation been tripping ever since the PS5 came out. I think it's on purpose. But this is things that they've done since I was a little kid. I've noticed that people will use something to the day they die just to keep pain away or stop from dealing with problems that they know they need to solve. You have to deal with that. You have to. And that comes with self-confidence too. Handling your business and becoming on your stuff. So my thing is, whether you've been hurt, no matter what you went through, I want you to stop caring what other people think about you. And stop caring about what people want you to think about yourself. Stop caring how many people don't like you. And if it really bothers you that much, change it. And get up on your stuff and love yourself for who you truly are. Don't do it because somebody else told you to do it or somebody else wanted you to do it. Do it because it's something that you want to do. Love yourself for who you are. Love yourself for what you want to be. Love how you dress. Love your clothes. And I think the best piece of advice my mama ever gave me when it came to clothes and stuff like that was the fact that if you don't think you look good in something, then other people won't think you look good either. And one thing that I have noticed, that all the superstars and all the people with money, or the way they look at themselves, if they're wearing it, they think they are the baddest thing on the planet. And guess what? Just from them doing that, it becomes cool. Just from that, it becomes a trend. Just that easy. Just that easy. And they ain't even do anything. They're not doing anything but being themselves. Nothing but being themselves. So why can't you be yourself and love yourself for who you truly are? What's stopping you? Nothing's stopping you but you. And what I'm going to tell you how to break that, how I broke it, was looking in the mirror, talking to myself every day, and believing. And also prayer. I prayed every day that I would be able to change. And I asked God to transform me physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And I asked Him to strengthen me physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And every day I pray for that. And I also ask Him for the courage and the confidence every day. Even if you feel like it's not going to work, you have to believe. And the reason why I tell you that is because faith is so powerful. Faith goes long ways. Faith doesn't just have nothing. It's not just Christian. It doesn't have to do just with the God. Faith goes into every little thing you do. When you brush your teeth, you believe and you have faith that your breath won't stink. When you go and wash your face, you believe and you have faith that your face is clean. When you go and clean your room, you believe and you have faith that your room is clean. Because if somebody would have asked you, is your room clean? And you just cleaned it, what are you going to say? My room is clean. Why is your room clean? Because I just cleaned it. And I have faith that it's clean. And I have faith that I also cleaned it enough for you to go in there and think that it's clean. Because I think that it's clean. Just like that. Just like that. That's all it takes. And all it takes is to stop caring what other people think about you, because you can't please people. I haven't been able to please people since I was helping people with their emotional problems, their physical problems, giving people advice on relationships and things like that. And guess what? At the end of the day, you can do all of that, and people still won't be the same way for you. You can boost a person's head up every day, tell them how great they look, and they still won't feel the same way towards you. It just is the way it is. And if you think you're not good enough for love, it's always somebody out there for you. Even if you haven't found it yet, if you're getting turned down or rejected, don't be afraid of that, man. I've been there too. Trust me. I know what it feels like. At the end of the day, just be yourself. Stop worrying about what other people think. Stop worrying about trying to change yourself for the benefit of others and the benefit of things that you want in life. Better yourself for the things to come towards you. And if it's something other than people, then you can go and chase it. If it's a dream, chase it. If it's a person, they'll come. Just like that. Choice out.